Merhabalar herkese. Hepiniz IFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün İngiltere'nin en iyi ilk 10 üniversitesinden University of Bath ile lisans ve yüksek lisans programlarını öğrenmek üzere Siddharth'tan dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı soru cevap bölümünden yönlendirmeyi unutmayın. Yes, Siddharth, the stage is yours now.
Great, thank you. Thanks, Zainab. Merhabalar, everyone. Hi, my name is Siddharth. I'm here from University of Bath. If you can't pronounce my name, you can call me Sid, if that's easier. So what I'll do is I'll start sharing my screen, and then we can talk about Bath. If you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to post them in the chat or the Q&A. And I'll be happy to answer those questions at any point. So yeah, let's make a start. So yeah, as I said, my name is Sid, and I work at the Uni of Bath in the international student recruitment team, and I do visit Turkey quite frequently. So if I've already met you, then hi again. If I haven't, then nice to meet you. And before we get into the presentation, I think it would be quite nice for me to know what stage are you at. If you just started looking at universities, if you can write this in the chat that I'm new to the process, that would be great. If you're an offer holder who already holds an offer from Bath and is looking for further information, if you can write that in, I'm an offer holder, that would be great just to get some engagement going, because I'll talk about some of the things that are maybe already familiar to you if you already looked at them, if you looked at Bath already. If you haven't, if you're completely new, then I think everything is of relevance. So please bear with me while we go through this presentation. So in terms of where we are located, if you haven't heard of us already, or if you haven't been to Bath, then that's our location. So we are located in the southwest of the UK. We are, thanks. So we got one person who's completely new. It's okay. It's a complicated process, so that's why we are here. So we'll try to explain everything in detail to you, and yeah, we'll leave our email and contact details with you as well. So if you have any questions at any stage, then you can contact us. So we are located in the south west of the UK, and if you, I think it, so we got one answer who says you are from Turkey and Istanbul. So if you are from Istanbul, then there are direct flights to Bristol directly for about 3 or maybe between 3 to 4 hours. So you can fly to Bristol directly. If you are based anywhere else, um, in Istanbul. If you're based anywhere else in Turkey, then you can take flights to Heathrow. From Heathrow, it would take you about 2 hours in a bus, maybe 1 hour, 20 minutes to 2 hours in a train. And we are a UNESCO World Heritage City as well. We are the only UNESCO World Heritage City in the UK. You might have heard of other places like Edinburgh. They have some parts which are UNESCO World Heritage, and we are the only one for which the whole city is preserved and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So as you can see on the presentation, this is why we are called Bath. So this is the bath that was built by the Romans. The Romans used to live here 600, 700 years ago. They built they dig a hole in the ground, hot water full of minerals came out of the ground, and they built a big bath around it. To this day, this hot water flows full of minerals and is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That's why the city is called Bath, and the sort of the stone that you see, it's also it is called the Bath Stone as well. So for all students, if you are ever going to study at Bath, or if you're just going to visit, for visitors, you have to pay a fee of 25, 30 pounds, but for students, it's all free for you to access. In terms of safety as well, because I know everyone these days is on social media or you're reading up the news, so you might be worried about safety, but in Bath, that is one thing that you never have to worry about. In the recent rankings, even in 2025, which is not here, we were ranked the second or the third safest city in England and Wales. So we are one of the safest places in the UK to live and study in. Even in terms of us, the facilities that we provide, we will provide you with a 24/7 security team. There's an emergency team as well. So if you face any problems, if you can't get into your accommodation, if you're stuck somewhere, you can just get in touch with them at any time. In terms of the world rankings, if you're already not aware, we are ranked 132 in the QS World University Rankings. We are ranked top 100 in the world for employability as well in the QS. So our focus is always on trying to get you a job. So for that, we are ranked quite high. So Couple of other interesting rankings. So we are also ranked sixth for graduate prospects. That means the support that we give you for your careers. So we were ranked sixth for that. And again, we have been ranked first or fourth or fifth, depends on the year that you're looking at, top five or top 10 in the NSS survey constantly as well. In terms of the courses, this is the one thing that Bath excels in. So every single course, especially for undergraduate studies, comes with an option of doing a placement here. If you were just to do a bachelor study in the UK, that will be a 3-year program. But if you wanted to also work at a company, maybe even get paid a salary or get some work experience, then every single course at Bath comes with an option of doing a placement here. So you will study in the first year, you'll study in the second year, third year is typically your placement year. And that's we help you get the placement, and the fourth year you come back, finish your degree, and you graduate. So that's how it works. And most of the students who do apply to Bath, they choose the option of doing a placement here. And depending on the courses that you choose, these are the sort of companies that you can maybe get the placement in. Let's say if we take mechanical engineering, for an example, then you could get a placement in Airbus, Formula One, or other places. If it's in computer science or let's say biosciences, then maybe AstraZeneca, Pfizer, or for computer science, IBM, or management studies, so consultancies, or your usual sort of blue chip companies as well. So we do work very, very closely with them. So yeah, I just want to show you the list here. In terms of subjects as well, again, so we talked about QS earlier, which are the World University rankings, but as you can see from my wallpaper here as well, I don't know, maybe here you can see it. So we are ranked top 10 in the UK in all UK rankings as well, and even in a variety of subjects, either we are top 5 or top 10 in the UK. You can see we are first for sports science, for marketing, we have been number 1 for 6 years. We are also top 5 for engineering subjects as well. So yeah, constantly ranked in the top 5 or top 10 in the UK. In terms of QS subject rankings too, a lot of our subjects are ranked top 50 to top 100 in the world. So if you look at architecture or business studies or psychology, our sports related subjects are ranked 13th in the world. So they're very, very high ranked. In terms of the university itself, we are a campus university. As you can see on the screen, that's our campus. So on bottom left-hand side of the screen here, where I'm pointing with my mouse, that's sort of the sports side of the university. We got a sports training village with football, volleyball, beach volleyball, anything that you ever might need. And all of that is free for you to access. Other than the gym, everything is free. Gym is the only thing you need to get a membership for. Again, so across the campus, accommodation is also spread out. Your study facilities are bang in the middle with library and other study facilities as you might need or want to use them. Yeah, so that is our campus. And in terms of how to get to the campus, so the university is located on top of a hill, the city is at the bottom. So you could choose to live on the campus or in the city center, is completely up to you. If you were to live in the city, it would take you 15 to 20 minutes via university bus to reach to the campus, to get to the campus. So there are different university buses that run almost 24 hours during term time, every 10 to 15 minutes. So it doesn't matter where you're located in the city, you can just take the university bus at any time. Because it's located on a hill, I wouldn't recommend you to walk up unless you want to be sweaty for your classes. It's just easier to take a bus. That's what I do as well. And like I said, it's free for you to access all the museums and attractions in Bath because you might be a University of Bath student in the future. And estimated cost of living. So that's sort of the estimated cost. It depends on what kind of accommodation you choose, however much money you're going to spend on living or maybe eating outside. So it's between 1,100 to 1,400 a pound. This includes accommodation. So that's sort of the range that you might expect to live on as a student in Bath. Now, in terms of our community, about 74% of our students are undergraduate students. The rest, 26% are postgraduate research or postgraduate taught, like master students. 1/3 of these students do come from outside the UK. and they represent 146 nationalities. If you're wondering about if you are going to miss your home, if you're going to miss the Turkish culture, then last year we had about 115 students from Turkey alone. So that's a very good number. So, and there's even a Turkish society, there is a Turkish supermarket in the city center as well. So I don't think you will be you'll feel lonely anytime soon. But if you do, we also have a mental health and well-being center, so you can go and talk to them at any point. Now, in terms of courses and entry requirements, so these are the four areas that we teach in. So we have three faculties and one school of automotive, those sort of courses. Under humanities and social sciences, you have economics, psychology, education, politics, international relations, those sort of courses. And School of Management has everything from accounting, finance, marketing, management, and both on undergraduate and postgraduate level. And finally, Faculty of Science, so biology, chemistry, biochem, biosciences, computer science, maths, physics, pharmacy, so all of those courses. So those are the courses that we teach at Bath. In terms of the entry requirements, it depends on which curriculum you are taking. So these are obviously for the international curriculum. So if it's A levels, then depends. This is just an example for the psychology course, A star AA. For some of the courses, it might be ABB or AAA. So it depends on the course. So let us know, then maybe I can answer your questions in the chat. Or AP or IB, it varies. For the Turkish diploma, it's usually between 80 to 90%. That's the average of your last 3 or 4 years. And if you are doing mechanical engineering or something, then obviously we'll need maths and physics. A certain score, maybe 85 to 90% in those. So that's sort of the entry requirement. Yeah, and for IELTS, it would be an IELTS of about 6.5 overall for most of the courses. For some of the courses, it's 7, but for most of the courses, it's 6.5. Now, that was for undergraduate. Now, for postgraduate taught students, if you are looking to do a master's in the UK, and IELTS are again between 6.5 to 7 for most of the courses, and a GPA of somewhere between 2.5 to 2.8 or 3.0. It varies on the course. It varies from course to course. So that's sort of the entry requirement that you're looking at. In terms of the tuition fees, you can see the tuition fees on your screen. Again, it varies from program to program, but for most of the courses, it's between 28,000 to 30,000 pounds. So again, it varies from course to course. If you end up applying for the one with the placement here, then for that 1 year of placement, you'd pay somewhere around 9 to 10,000 pounds. So it depends on whichever course you're applying for. And finally, for master courses, the tuition fees are between 28,000 to 34,000 pounds. So that's the sort of the new tuition fee. And again, we'll come to the scholarships as well. So let's talk about the scholarships. Now, first of all, undergraduate scholarships, if you're planning to study for your undergraduate degree in the UK. So this year we have launched a new scholarship of £8,000 for every year of study. So that's £24,000 overall for your 3 years of study. That's the maximum scholarship offered by any UK university right now. And there are a lot of these scholarships available. They're only for international students. So we do really recommend you to apply to Bath. And we will ask you only 2 or 3 very basic questions in the scholarship applications. Once you received your offer, then you just have to answer those questions, and then you may or may not be given that scholarship. And there are 3 multiple deadlines. The first one is 30th of April. For 26, it will be similar for the next year as well. So maybe take a screenshot of this or watch the recording later. For postgraduate students, if you're planning to apply, so if you are a Turkish student, then on all courses except management, so let's say psychology, sociology, or whatever, if you're accepted and you meet the published entry criteria on the website, you will be given a £5,000 scholarship automatically. There are other scholarships like Bath Global Excellence scholarships, which are £10,000, but you have to apply for them. Once you have received your offer, then again, we'll ask you 2 or 3 questions about what makes you the best candidate, how how are your team working skills, and what do you want to do in the future. So it depends on those answers. The scholarship may or may not be given to you. Yeah, again, so you can just go onto the website and apply directly. The final deadline and now would be the 12th of June for the final scholarship round. So please make sure to apply if you haven't. Now, here are a couple of pictures of Bath, of the UNESCO World Heritage City, just to give you an idea of what it looks like if you were to live and study here. This is the Bath stone, which is used across Bath. The city is known for its architecture, as you can see. That's the Pulteney Bridge. This is called the Bath Abbey, where the graduation also takes place, and it looks wonderful on a sunny day. Even if you just want to visit Bath as a touristic city, I'd highly recommend you to visit. Yeah, in this street there are about 400-year-old restaurants, so it's quite popular. I went there when I was a student first. I went to Bath to do management and marketing as well. I came to study here as a student too, so that could be you in the future. We were also named Sports University of the Year in 2026. So if any of you are interested in playing sports, it doesn't get better than Bath, really. And like I said earlier, other than the gym, everything it's available for you for free to access. There is the Olympic-sized swimming pool, beach volleyball. If you wanted to train professionally, you can hire coaches as well, so you can do that too. And as you can see on the screen, this is something that we are very proud of. In the last Olympics and Paralympics, we were awarded 17 medals, and not many universities or even countries can say that across the world. So to have that just from just university is quite an achievement. So it might be one of you, if you just wanted to not do that and just play recreationally or maybe try out a new sport, you can do that as well. Although we don't teach art related programs or law or medicine, but we do have an arts state-of-the-art facility called the Edge on the campus. So if you are into dancing, music, photography, we have all of them. We have practice rooms, we have dancing studios, we have art studios and galleries as well, where you can sort of display your art too. Yeah. Now let's swiftly move on to the accommodation bit. So we will guarantee accommodation for all undergraduate students as long as you have your Bath as your firm UCAS choice and you apply by the accommodation deadline. And there are plenty of accommodation choices that you can choose from ensuite to from ensuite to shared accommodations or alcohol free or women only or vegetarian. So there are a lot of choices that you can go through. And the same for postgraduate students as well. We will guarantee the accommodation to you, yet you just need to apply by the deadline, which will close on the 1st of July. So please make sure to submit your applications if you haven't already. And for postgraduate students, you'll also need to pay a £500 deposit to secure the accommodation. That's all you need to do. Yeah, so like I said earlier, single gender accommodations, quiet accommodation, alcohol free, again, whichever you would like. You can also do online 360-degree views, just virtual tours of your accommodation, what it might look like. You can find them on our website quite easily. In addition to that, we also offer student support services, whether you need support with your career services in terms of mock interviews, CV editing, getting a job, or welfare support. We have a medical center on the campus as well. We have an immigration advice support center on the campus. We have a language center if you just wanted to learn a new language, let's say Mandarin, Japanese, Spanish, or whatever it may be. You can attend those on the campus on the side as well. And we have one of the best students union in the UK as well. I used to participate in this quite a lot. So they're independent of the university. They can offer you guidance if you wanted to. They can help you find part-time jobs or volunteering opportunities. And we have over 200 plus clubs and societies, which we'll talk about later. But as you can see on the screen, we also have a University about Turkish Society, as you can see on the screen. So it's a great opportunity for Turkish students to connect, but don't let that stop you. Try all the other societies as well, because I think it's quite useful to make friends from all different cultures, nationalities, and languages as well, not just from your own country. So yeah, we have quite a lot of other societies too, like Baking Society, Women in Science, Film Society, Kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever is your cup of tea. You can just go to the website and find them, whichever one you would like. And yeah, so that brings us to the end of the presentation. It was quite quick. So I hope there will be a lot of questions from you. So please feel free to post your questions in the chat. If you do have any questions later on, you can take a picture of this or a screenshot maybe, so you can just reach out to us, either our admissions teams directly, or you can just email me, and we will be more than happy to help you. And yeah, thank you for listening. If you'd like to speak to any of our current students, the student ambassadors, you can just scan this, you can start speaking to them. So that brings me to the end of the presentation. I'll just quickly have a look through the chat or the Q&A if anyone has sent any questions. So the first question is from, say that, also if I pronounce your names wrong, please forgive me, because I only know a little bit of Turkish, not a lot, other than teşekkürler. I don't know a lot. So please bear with me if I pronounce your names wrong. So the first question is, how does Bath help students in building professional networks in the UK? So in terms of building the professional networks, again, it depends from faculty to faculty or the School of Management. Let's say if you're going to be a student in School of Management, then they offer a lot of advice there. They have a career center within the School of Management. So depends on what you want to learn. Let's say if you just wanted to create your own startup, they have an entrepreneurship hub. They can invest in that. If you wanted to work on a specific side of things, maybe consultancy or the finance side of things, they can connect you with the employers that we regularly work with. They will also host alumni talks on the campus, so that all the alumni who are successful now, they will invite them back to the campus. They'll also hold career fairs on the campus as well, so you can connect with the companies directly. There are some websites which are only accessible to University of Bath students for international students. So all the job opportunities for international students for Bath are advertised separately on that website as well. So there are a lot of those dedicated services. So I hope that answers your question. If you have a follow-up, please feel free to type it in. The second question is, what makes Bath different from other top ranked UK universities? I think it depends on what you're looking for. There are a lot of different things. For if you were to look for other universities, like in London, again, city is one of the other things. Bath is a UNESCO World Heritage City. It's quite safe to live in, but it's never going to be as busy as Istanbul or London because it's just a different kind of town. In terms of the university itself, we are more of a specialized university. So we only specialize in these three faculties in one School of Management. We don't teach law, we don't teach medicine, we don't teach arts. So we don't even bother to teach with them. We only teach what we are good at. That's why we are in every single ranking. We are consistently ranked top 10. So like it says on my virtual background here, you can't say that for maybe one or two other universities. You won't find many like that. And so if you move to the next question, I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, please follow up. So the next question is, are there part-time opportunities on or near campus? Yes, so we do offer part-time opportunities even within our team. You can apply to work as a student ambassador, in which if you support us with webinars or things like that, you can get paid. Our students union has a website which advertises part-time job opportunities on the campus or within campus as well. I think, or you can just work in the city center. UNESCO, again, it's a UNESCO World Heritage City, so there are plenty of tourists who do come every single day. So a lot of cafes, a lot of retail shops, so you can find part-time work quite easily in Bath. How does the university support students who don't secure a placement immediately? So every faculty and the school will have their own placement officer, so they will be in touch with you from the first year onwards to try to identify what sort of placement you want to get onto. Let's say if we take mechanical engineering for an example, so maybe you want to go into Formula One design side of things or electrical propulsion systems or whatever it may be. So they'll try to identify that and they'll advise you on how to build your CV according to that so that you have the best chance. The worst case scenario, if you don't get placement, then you can just remove it out of your degree. Your degree will reduce to 3 years, and that's completely fine. So when you're applying for a course, it's always better to apply for a placement year rather than if you were to ask us later to change a program to the one with placement, yeah, then it becomes a bit harder in terms of the visa and everything. So it's always better to apply for that. And most of these, other than for some faculties like psychology or other ones, they are mostly paid placements as well. So unless you're failing in every class, most of the students will secure a really good placement at Bath as well. What kind of companies do students typically work with during placements from Ersin? So I believe I showed the slide to you earlier. I'll just go quickly back to that. So these are the companies. If you just wanted to take a picture, please feel free to. Just give me one sec. Yeah, so these are the sort of companies that we work with during placements. And again, it varies from program to program. So if you go to the course page, we will list it all down. We also list down what's the average sort of placement salary that you can expect to earn as well. Okay, next question is, are there any mentorship or buddy systems for new international students? Yes, there are. So from the university side of things, you will be given a personal tutor when you start your program to help you navigate the academic side of things, so you can understand the sort of how does academia work, how can you do research, all of that quite well by working with them. And the Students' Union also runs a budding scheme, even if you wanted to learn a new language or if you just wanted to understand or just wanted to become comfortable when you start your university, you can just easily sign up to that program and they'll pair you up with someone senior who is also from another country, so you can quite easily do that. Okay, so next question is, sorry that I was a bit late. May I please learn about the admissions requirement for the engineering department? Which course would you like to know it for, Denise? Is it for undergraduate, like mechanical engineering, or postgraduate? If it's undergraduate, then let's say for mechanical engineering, it's about 90%, average of 90% overall. So undergraduate, okay. So it's an average of 90% overall. For mechanical engineering, with at least 85 to 90 in maths and physics from your last year. So that's the entry requirement that we're looking at. This 90% is the average of the last 4 years. Again, if it's chemical engineering or civil engineering, it's 80 to 85%. That's the average. Instead of 90 for mechanical, it's 90. For other ones, it's between 80 to 85. Does that answer your question, Denise? Okay. A final question is, does school registration open in winter? How does the process for language proficiency work? So the applications for the university are open now, and for the September intake, they will close around June. So you still have some time to apply if you haven't already applied. It usually opens from like October and it closes. So let's say if you wanted to study in 2027, so you would be able to apply from October 2026 to maybe June 2027. So that will be the sort of your timeline. For language proficiency, I think the advice is for you to submit your application as soon as you possible. So you only need your passport, your personal statement, and your degree results to submit your application. English proficiency like IELTS or other things, you can do that later. You can do that in your own time. So once you have that, you can just submit that and we will give you a conditional offer letter by that time if you're accepted. So I hope that answers your question. Are there AP requirements? Not specifically, Denise. If you are doing the Turkish diploma, then there's no need to do AP separately. I think this is a misconception that still exists in Turkey. So right before COVID, you would need to do IB or APs or A levels. But after COVID, most of the universities like Bath, Warwick, all of us have started to accept your Turkish diploma directly. There are only some universities who ask for it, but most of us won't. But if you just wanted to know the answer just for AP specifically, it would be 5555 in 4 AP subjects with calculus BC and one other science or math subject. So it depends on which course you're looking at. So that would be the requirement. But if you got the Turkish diploma, then that's good enough as well. Okay. So Any other? Okay, one more question. If you could give one piece of advice to applicants before they apply, what would it be? So it depends on whether again, I'm guessing you're asking for a master's degree. So in your personal statement, we would ask for, sorry, my chat is doing something weird. So for a master's degree, for the personal statement, what we are looking for you to answer is why did you choose UK, why Bath specifically, and why this program? So try to answer it in a way, what do you want to learn from the degree? Where are you going to, what skills are you hoping to learn, and where are you going to apply them? So that's what we want to see. Um, yeah, does that answer your question? I hope that answers your question. I can't see any other open questions. If you do have them, I will give it a minute or two, so please feel free to type more in. Any other questions, anyone? Don't feel like your questions are not relevant. Anyone else might be thinking those the same questions as well. So there are no stupid questions. Any basic questions about student life or whatever they may be, they're more than welcome I'm more than uh, welcome for you to ask me those questions.
Yes, thank you very much for the great presentation, Sid. We had a lot of questions and you covered them all. Thank you for your answers as well.
No worries.
And also, could you please share an email address on the chat box so if they have further questions, they can contact you later on?
Yeah, of course. I will just put my email in the chat. That's my email, everyone. Okay, so I don't see any questions. So teşekkürler ederim everyone for attending the session.
Yes, thank you very much once again. And it was very beneficial for the attendees. And it was a pleasure to have you in our IFT talks. And also I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well.
Yeah, of
Katıldığınız
course,
için
go for it.
teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Umarım sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. University of Bath ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için chat kısmında paylaşılmış olan mail adresinden sizle iletişime geçebilirsiniz. Bir sonraki webinarlarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you very much again, Sid, and hope to see you in our October fairs again.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to come in person again. Yeah, great. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Have a
Take
great day.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.